So as we continue with understanding violations of national security and stripping security clearances away from parties such as Kamala Harris, Julie Sue, Shirley Weber, etc. A key understanding that Arkansas has evidence involving a review which shows that the determination that some officers out of California were harassing a candidate. A candidate that was filed out of Arkansas, and this dates back a number of years. Now, the thing is that the parties, such as Kamala Harris, would not resolve the matter, would not prosecute the parties, even though they were causing a problem, blacklisting. We had the extreme on, off again. I even showed up in court once where it's like, well, I want to prosecute these people. These people are criminals. And I demand full prosecution of them. And they didn't even want to have this come out on the books, because I'm like, no, I want everything recorded. I want every piece of evidence recorded. They didn't want to do that. I'm like, well, I'm a candidate. And federal law says that I cannot be compelled to appear in a court of non-record. Now, I want records of all of this because these parties committed felonies. These parties attacked me, a candidate, and I'm also an archiver. And that's another set of felonies that they're committing. Now, so what they would do is they go, oh, we've decided not to prosecute the case. We're going to take it off the books. So go off the books. Some analysts would come through and say, this wasn't processed, put it on the books. So it's a yo-yo all of a sudden, back and forth, and I keep getting blacklisted. And I got really sick and tired of the BS on all of this. And I won, so Arkansas reviewed it and said, well, yeah, actually, but, here's the thing, we can't get them to extradite. We'll prosecute the officers if we can get them in the state. Now, the problem is here, too, is I'm an archiver. I was also dealing with legal compensation from a man-made disaster, which was the Detco chemical plant fire. 3,400 types of chemicals. Those were determined by military, I can't remember which military unit it was, that did the chemical. They went out and did the aerial monitoring and chemical capture. 3,400 types, over 3,400 types of chemicals detected. Now, these were primarily also acidic chemicals. So I have an archive with acidic chemicals on it, and people don't want to grant me an emergency management budget so I can do the fire inventory. How do you do a fire inventory? So these people don't want to do that. And meanwhile, I'm running around trying to get different things done. I've got a little bit of a campaign schedule I have to keep, and then I'm getting harassed in California. Absolutely ridiculous. On and on and on. And there's other evidence. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And these parties are in dereliction of duty. They won't prosecute these people, and it's like, you don't understand. You're blacklisting me. You're putting lies on a record. These people are harassing. They've committed serious felonies. They've attacked an archiver. My archive also has material pertaining to national security. You're violating national security with respect if you're in dereliction of duty. That's Kamala Harris again. So they don't want to prosecute parties that are busted red-handed. And this is pissing me off, and this is delaying and causing problems for me to process a case when I have acid on material, basically, in an archive. Okay, felony intent there. Parties are not cooperating when you also inform them, by the way, I'm trying to be able to get this processed. I'm having a lack of money. I'm not having cooperation from the courts, which should have happened to begin with. That's another thing. By the way, that's all screwball. The parties would, when you have parties that won't allow you to log evidence into record because they're afraid of the evidence that you just handed them and laid out. They don't even want it logged into record. They're afraid. National security violations again. These parties in dereliction of duty. Man-made disaster, parties automatically become your insurer and are automatically obligated to put forth emergency management budgets to deal with any kind of serious damage. Okay, that would include items that have acid on them that pertain to national security research. Custom research. We're not, my custom research is important. There are parties that would know that it was important, when I do something like I call up the White House and I say, you have 2 Stinger missile teams that are out there, each with the missile laying in wait to target and go after, pursue, dox the president's aircraft and down it. And it turns out I'm absolutely right. Then you know that my research is number one, that my aspect is number one, and my labs are number one. So whether, how I use the quantum aperture experimentation on my custom lab, that's a whole another story. But again, all of that classified. It's my property. I'm the designer. These people are a screwball. They think that national security only has something to do with a government-funded project. No, wrong. Albert Einstein, all these other different people, independent scientists, brilliant, write letters and say, by the way, we kind of sort of think you need to address this other issue. There could be a problem. Suggestion. Now, yeah, these people get money for different stuff sometimes, but the point is, we cannot discriminate against the individual creative person, because you never know what kind of research or analyzation can pop out from somebody that might end up being in civilian life. So I can see, that's obviously something in the law that is sometimes national security. Now, also under the Constitution and articles, archives are considered part of national security. Knowledge banks are part of national security. So when we have parties again in dereliction of duty, because they're in the buddy club, I don't want to prosecute my buddy for whatever reason. Okay, I'm not interested in what their reason was, whether they don't like my political party, they don't like my views, they don't like whatever it is. That is a different issue that pretty much has nothing to do with conduct to protect information at all cost. Okay, so these people, the deepness of what has to be furtherly investigated here has to be. Now, obviously, I'm going to be showing some various images. There should be images of clear violence, clear threats. I've had 2 attempted assassinations by gunfire. And reality here is that all the break-ins, all the attacks, violent attacks on the mobile archive vehicles are recorded on SAR. Okay, down to a blade of grass, these things. We've got multiple overlapping satellites. There's a couple satellites I checked on. They were shooting 60 frames a second. So yeah, we have plenty of data that's available on this. We know where everything goes. I want to retrieve everything. Do they turn over an emergency management budget now? No, they don't. Okay, felony intent, criminal intent, and they're violating national security. No BS here. So we've got a lot more in this case to deal with, and this is a complaint. Make no doubt about it. The word complaint, yes, here, now, used. More development, definitely on the way, here, there, coming, Do we process something now? Of course we do. Oh, I don't know where that came from. Too bad. Make sure the right guys have it. I'm a presidential candidate. I have a 240 IQ. And I don't want to deal with a bunch of memeists that think that their personal beauty contest or popularity contest on their memeism somehow is more important to national security. I don't look at things that way. I want tactical table analysis. I want some tactical brains when we look at stuff. I've got a different mentality. So that's kind of it, plain and simple. Now, running away from time. Some people don't have a lot of time. I got a lot of different material on it. Copy paste works real good. Transcript, AI sort, yes, bang. If you got your prompts set for your AI sort properly, wonderful. Okay. So we have Julie Sue blacklists me so she can have more money to give out to other people. Looks that way. Okay, now we have me blacklisted, can't get money. I'm a candidate. I'm also a participant in the process of elections that do petitions. But petitions are shut down because of the shutdown orders and no mass gatherings. That just kind of ruined petitions. That's shot. Everything's closed down. Marketing areas where you would do your stuff have been shut down. So, and there's other types of business, auctions, other stuff, all shut down. All avenues, all business, all gig types effectively shut down. So I'm left with nothing. These people owe me money. We have the California recall election Shirley Weber, the Secretary of State's office, doesn't want to do their job. They don't want to verify that Julie Sue has blacklisted me. They got records right there for the previous petitions. Boom, 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 boom. Tens of thousands of signatures previous. Witnessed by me. Yes. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Boom, we have evidence. Yes. Oh, yes. He was a gig worker. Yes. Boom. Give him his money. Congress, carte blanche. Give everybody their money. They have to. Man-made disaster. So there's no choice on that. That's an overlap. But they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do any investigation because then it leads to what? Julie Sue again, who's already been investigated, been before the Senate. And the Senate has found very scary things about her. There's deep questions. My understanding is there's still investigations ongoing, and we need to widen those investigations. This is not a game. It's not a game. You don't have people disrespecting an archive. That is a violation of the constitutional oath. We have to protect archives. Archives and artifacts are protected by the Constitution of the United States. We got artifacts lost now older than the Constitution of the United States. It's not a game. So security clearance toast, gone. Files, yes, complaint, here, make. So this is what's going on. My name is Michael Crosby. I'm a presidential candidate running. I got a 240 IQ. We have people that rigged elections. I have 18 mobile broadcast archive vehicles lost because what these people are doing, plus a bunch of other logistic vehicles. This conduct of these people is ridiculous, especially when I'm come under fire. When I have people shooting at me, when I'm at a location, all of a sudden there are multiple agents that have pipes and baseball bats, and I have to leave rapidly in my vehicle to escape because I believe these people have violent intent. When these people keep breaking into vehicles, when they break into storage facilities, there's a lot of violence here, a lot of damage. I'll record it on SAR. The dots, these people aren't getting away. They can be ID'd. I can do it privately. It's expensive. Again, these people don't want to assist in doing what? Protecting national security. And they don't want to assist in what? Protecting the process of elections. And they don't want to do what? Well, the list goes on. Well, we definitely have dereliction of duty. That's beyond the shadow of a doubt. So, their national security here, now, why make this toast? This is not a game. Who's the complainer? Michael Crosby. He's a presidential candidate. We have insurrection. Candidate need only verbally proclaim. I'm a presidential candidate. Okay, paperwork? Yes, I have more paperwork. Notices of operations, a right of proclaiming panel, a lot more. Okay, there's the short end of it. So I got a lot of issues that I want to work with. People are invited to look at it if they want to understand more depths of the case. And if you happen to be somebody that you have to make the report, we're going to have to do this. We talked about the copy and paste. Now, so the thing is I have 4 moving items that I need to deal with to get very intricate, that this is not necessarily the right exact moment to mention think tank stuff, other types of stuff. But this is not a game. This is not a joke. So when people listen to this, and I'm putting copies out publicly, I'm going to put some out for the military, it's going to go all over X, all over X, and this is notification. I'm giving notification to intelligence, to the military. This information is needed. Something's happened. This information is needed. Now, I'm a little short on the cash sequence. I don't have 60, 90 grand to keep making nice, pretty things up and mail them to everybody. Why? Because of the damage and the actions of what these people did in the election rigging. So we got the gubernatorial special election. Okay, I was a candidate. Okay, Newsom couldn't run. Analytics had me. I was going to get 45% of the vote. 12 RV units on and off the freeway. That's 1 million people a day exposure. So no apologies that people are going to have to end up writing reports about this. National security for those people, gone. Their conduct is unacceptable. Now, because they still haven't compensated me, And because of all the extra changes they're putting me through, this situation is not being dealt with properly because other parties are using party reasoning structures of one type or another to discriminate, to sabotage. I've got judges going screwball on this. Okay, not a fun time, not a fun time. I got complaints going out. I've got written complaints in. I got documents that I've filed in the United States Archive through the Secretary of the Senate. This is not a game. Now I'm going to key these documents later as needed, which ones are needed, because more investigation has to be done. But as situations go, we have ongoing parties repeatedly, the same four names basically, are repeatedly still in dereliction of duty or in some way participating in interfering with the current election. We have Democrats that are not disclosing to the voters. That means that the voters have been lied to, and people have the right to have accurate information of specific nature to understand who they're dealing with, to understand what the brain sets of the people that they're working with. Who are these people? Me? I'm going to work with a bunch of AI. I was already for 20 years. People laughed at me, 2005 to 8. We need $4 to $6 billion a year of mass economic modeling software investment. I was laughed at. Now we know that that would have absolutely been the right direction to go in. Absolutely. So my personal research, my design of math sets and prompts for chips that didn't even exist and weren't going to exist for another 20 to 30 years, that research has been stolen. Again, national security violation. So my understanding of things like displacement, understanding ahead of time that we're going to lose 50 to 80 million jobs in a 20, 30-year period from automation, AI upgrade, etc., has me saying, hey, those are bars of gold. These people we know 10 years easily ahead of time. We can make a smooth transition. Some of these people need maybe a 3-6-week upgrade course, and they're employable big time again. We've got something rolling. So other programs that I got that I was working on, just not on the modeling of what's going to go down. Some gaming, yeah, sure, okay, I admit it, yeah. But it's strange how that also comes in line with modeling coming up. But being able to understand how to add diversity to people's life and let them be able to construct homes again with their own hand means a 30% differential. You make it wholesale, 70 cents on the dollar. The government's going to print 30 cents on the dollar. That's going to help balance the budget. I've got a $78 million construction enhancement stimulus set up for the first year of my presidency. This basically means that everybody who pretty much that I'm estimating is actually going to do it, actually going to want it. You might want it, but actually going to do it. From the statistics I came out with, those are people going to do it. They're going to do their home, their small business, whatever. There's a little bit of widened into it. Your retirement, your extra shop, whatever. And 30 years purchase is also going to include allowances for people who want equipment. You want mills, drills, drill presses. You want to buy them U.S., German, Taiwan, wherever you want to buy them, whatever the price is. It's all good. 30-year financing on this. Now you can work with your retirement, where you want to go, what you want to do, what's important to your projecting. I also have stimulus to cover patent and copyrights, assistance for that. I also want to install AI everywhere. Now, these are going to be individual units. They have to be extremely studied, okay? But we're going to have AI going in all over the place. All over the place. Different level discussions, different level disclosures, different creatures, different computers. Now, these are big projects. This is lots and lots of money. I'm not kidding with you. This is going to cost big bucks, but it's worth every dime, the efficiency that's gathered. So, also into this, we're going to basically have a 24/7 AI-assisted service centers. So in other words, there's no such thing as somebody not being able to get to an interactive intelligence of some type that won't help you at least get part of your stuff furthered and give you some kind of furthering reference list. This is going to further your things way faster, whatever it is you need. And then we're going to have more oracles, people, to be able to address these items. So the balance is, some people are going to get upgraded. They're going to go into this other AI stuff. And they're, again, a lot of the stuff there's going to be a lot of development. There's going to be a lot of military development. There's going to be a lot of specialized development, intelligence development, etc. So I'm at 20 minutes. Okay, so basically, this gives a raw idea of some of the material that I'm working with. Again, I got a 240 IQ. My name is Michael Crosby. I'm running for the presidency of the United States, and I'm trying to get intelligent people to understand where my situation is and how people are in dereliction of duty, and they are violating the mandate that all of these matters of what these parties did must be resolved before the delegates are allowed to be counted and certified. It's in the Constitution and Articles. It's mandatory. And I'm tired of these people playing their little insurance upstairs, downstairs games, and in the middle of it, national security is getting thrown into the trash. I don't accept that. That is unacceptable. I want to thank you for your time. Again, Michael Crosby, running for POTUS.